Well guys, the Stanley Cup playoffs are and have been the main matinee presentation for hockey fans as of late, but recently, Jack Eichel has given us even more to talk about amongst ourselves following some recent news. As according to NHL insider Pierre LeBrun, quote, "Nobody said the Stanley Cup playoffs had to be over before Jack Eichel potentially gets moved. And while I'm not saying the star center will get traded before the end of the playoffs, what I'm hearing is that the conversations between the Buffalo Sabres and other interested teams are getting more intense and serious," end quote. So with that information now out in the open, I thought it'd be interesting to explore some destinations for the Sabres captain that make the most sense. And with that, here are 5 potential trade destinations for Jack Eichel. I mean, when it comes down to a team that needs Eichel the most right now, in my opinion, it would have to be CBJ. After the departure of Pierre-Luc Dubois, Max Domi not working out as a first-line center, amongst other factors, the Jackets have been hungry for a playmaker who can get the puck to known sniper Patrik Laine. I mean, if you simply look at their last season, it kind of reiterates their scoring woes, as they were 4th from the bottom last campaign in goals for. Therefore, for Jarmo Kekalainen, the previous 82-point scorer has to be at least on his radar at this present time. The team, who will be going through a lot of expected changes this offseason, could definitely use Eichel's services. Even though he has yet to get the surgery he has requested, once healthy, I think we can all agree that Columbus could definitely use a competent first-line center as soon as possible. Similarly to the Jackets, the Wild, who don't really have that top center that leaps off the roster sheet as a bona fide star. And really, as we saw, this team last season has a lot of talent and renewed excitement to offer spectators, as the emergence of Kirill Kaprizov has seemingly given Minnesota new life. And I'm sure the depth players that Billy G acquired helped a lot as well. But what if Guerin decided to bring in the previous 2nd overall pick to the Twin Cities? I mean, Kaprizov being on a line with Eichel would definitely be something to see. And according to Michael Russo from The Athletic, the team will definitely be inquiring about number 9 and what it would take to obtain his services. The team definitely has a plethora of young talent to offer up, such as Matthew Boldy, Marco Rossi, and Kalen Addison, just to name a few. They also have some vets as well, such as Matt Dumba or even Cam Talbot, that could pique Kevin Adams' interest. One I guess that's a safe option that seemingly has been entertained for months now is the Los Angeles Kings. Similarly to Anaheim, which we'll get to later, this team has an immense amount of young talent with some veteran leadership sprinkled in. The Kings have begun to rebuild and reset after their well-known cup runs during last decade, and similarly to the Wild and the Ducks alike, they have a lot to offer as far as prospects and younger talent is concerned. Quinton Byfield, Alex Turcotte, amongst others, could be enticing to Buffalo, and one real incentive for LA could be to try and shed some salary when it comes to the Jonathan Quick contract that, unfortunately, isn't looking any better by the minute. So really, from Rob Blake's perspective, this deal could really be a win-win. Having Eichel, slot in the top 6 with Anze Kopitar still in the lineup at center as well would definitely be an attractive look for the team moving forward. As I touched on in the last video, the Anaheim Ducks really do have a lot to offer, not only Kevin Adams return-wise, but also future-wise for Jack Eichel. Even though they had a rough season last campaign, they do have some names in the pipeline that are going to continue to improve with age, such as Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale. They also have, in my opinion, one of the best goalies currently in the league in net, and John Gibson as well. While the Ducks could offer up either of the prospects in a trade, they also have some veteran talent to trade as well, and Josh Manson, potentially, or even Adam Henrique. Similarly to LA, relocating to Orange County has to be pretty appealing, at least for Eichel, after enduring a slew of winters in Buffalo. Just saying. Out of all the teams on this list, aside from maybe Minnesota, the Flyers strike me as a team that is so close to being there and being extremely competitive, but just needs a piece or two to get over the hump in order to make a deep postseason run. And Philadelphia really on paper looks like a good team. I mean, Jacob Voracek, Travis Konechny, Claude Giroux, Kevin Hayes, I could definitely go on, but these are all household names if you're a Flyers fan. Sure, the team struggled last season, but largely it wasn't because they couldn't score, as they finished within the middle of the pack at 15th for goals for last season. They simply just struggled to keep the puck out of their own net when it comes down to it. Therefore, if they can find a solution that works on the back end and maybe more reliable support for the young Carter Hart, adding Jack Eichel to the mix would look pretty good to me, if I'm Chuck Fletcher, in all honesty. And even though it's not quite New England, it would be closer to home for the Massachusetts native in the end.